It's Tuesday, October 15. In the headlines in local news, Office of the Information Commissioner opens registration for 2023-2024 data controllers. We celebrate International Rural Women's Day. In business news, Proven Group's Joanne Heaven discusses AI trends in Jamaica's financial sector. Regionally, Caribbean Airlines adds a new destination to its schedule. And in sports, Reggae Boys secure a quarterfinal spot with a goalless draw against Honduras in Nations League. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Brittany Clark. In a key update for businesses and organizations handling personal data, the Office of the Information Commissioner, or OIC, has announced that the Register of Data Controllers for 2023-24 registration year is now live. The OIC encourages all data controllers to visit their official website at www.oic.gov.jm to complete their registration. Once approved, data controllers will receive notification of their registration and will be listed in the online registry. It's crucial to note that failure to register with the OIC while processing personal data is considered an offense under Section 18(1) of the Act. Registered data controllers will receive an e-certificate valid from December 1, 2023 to November 30, 2024, regardless of when their application is approved. However, they will need to renew their registration for the next year, starting December 1, 2024. For those seeking more information about their registration or compliance status, the OIC's Complaints Resolution and Compliance Branch is available at compliance@oic.gov.jm. Today is being observed as the International Day of Rural Women, celebrating the critical role rural women play in supporting their communities, agriculture, and food security. This year's theme, Agricultural Resilience, Achieving a Sustainable Future, kicks off a month-long celebration organized by the Bureau of Gender Affairs. In part one of this feature, we spotlight the remarkable contributions of rural women and girls in improving rural life and strengthening their families and communities.
It is said that women account for 32% of Jamaica's registered farmers, working in areas like veterinary medicine, animal husbandry, beekeeping, fisheries, and more. Every year, the Bureau of Gender Affairs hosts a series of activities in October, recognizing their significant impact to our agricultural sector.
I grew up finding my parents farming, and I always help them, so it's just my thing. I just love farming. I plant, I spray, I weed out and I grass the land, I harvest, I do everything.
Mallory Smith has been farming for years in the hills of Airy Castle, St. Thomas.
So my work I do it, me spray, me bill, me fork. Yeah, the high and stuff me use dig the plant and stuff for them to plant. Me buy one pig. Yeah, one pig down there, so buy one pig. Right, and me just start grate coconut maker, me buy the coconut out of it. We sell carrot, we sow carrot up there. We do pepper, hot pepper. We buy one pump.
This year, The women in the rural areas of Jamaica were placed in a precarious position. Hurricane Beryl left hundreds of homes destroyed. A storm of its magnitude had not hit Jamaica since Hurricane Gilbert in 1988. Farms and businesses lost millions of dollars. Many of these were small farms, operated by women, the backbones of their families.
Yes, man, everything was going good until bird come and take away everything. It's the first ever experience something like this. We did a kind of prepare because our house, we cannot tie down the top, but burial, burial take off some of the roof same way. One of the back door come off. At the time I did have 100 chickens. And they were 2 weeks. After burial, I only leave with 40. Thank God all of them never did.
What happened with the food produce, like the cantaloupe and stuff?
The rain beat them up. They never good. The rain beat them up. The breeze turn and twist them and through. They never ready.
Loretta Beckford owns a shop and a farm in Racecourse, Clarendon.
The top of the hog pen blow off, and two of the hog did die. We have to throw it away. And at the same time, my chicken them on 250 chicken went lost.
See there, the whole I front part gone. Gone right to zero. The hog pen top gone. This is gone in the storm.
But they get to rod and then give me back 50, but I give thanks still.
October is recognized globally as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and serves as a crucial reminder for individuals to be informed about factors that may increase their vulnerability. In a recent episode of the World Health Organization's Science in 5 series, experts are shining a light on the importance of understanding breast cancer risks for both men and women.
Did you know that both men and women can have breast cancer? It is the most common type of cancer among women, and most breast cancers are self-detected. If you have a history of breast cancer or any cancer in your family, you'll want to hear what our Dr. Mary Nyangasi has to say today. Welcome, Mary. What do we need to know about breast cancer?
Thank you, Vismita. The first thing that you need to know is that breast cancer is curable in the vast majority of cases, especially if it's detected early and treated comprehensively. Breast cancer occurs when cells in the milk-producing tissues of the breast begin to grow at an abnormal pace and in abnormal areas. As they continue to multiply, they begin to appear as lumps or thickenings. They will multiply further and invade surrounding tissues, especially the lymph nodes of the armpits and clavicles, and even beyond to other parts of the body.
Mary, you know, when somebody in our family gets any kind of cancer, that kind of triggers concerns in the rest of the family members. I remember being worried when my father got cancer. What role does a family history play? Who is at risk of breast cancer?
Actually, Vismita, family history is an established risk factor for cancer, both in men and in women. Based on our current understanding, about 5 to 10% of breast cancers come from a family history. Actually, the majority of cases of breast cancer diagnosed occur in women without a family history or inherited mutation. The only risk factor being gender and age.
Wait, so being a woman and aging are my biggest risk factors for breast cancer?
Yes, but there are things that you can do to reduce your risk of breast cancer. Remember, drinking even small amounts of alcohol increases your risk of breast cancer. The more you drink, the higher the risk. Also, you need to maintain a healthy body weight and exercise regularly. Breastfeeding also reduces your risk of developing breast cancer. Avoiding the use of postmenopausal hormonal replacement therapy reduces the risk of developing breast cancer as well. However, there are ways you can detect breast cancer early. For example, for many women around the world, mammography offers an option to screen and detect breast lesions early, even before they appear as lumps.
I've always wondered, mammography is radiation, right? And radiation is one of the risks for breast cancer. How can you explain this?
When you look at the benefits of early detection, vis-a-vis the minimal risk of radiation exposure, which is 250 times less than the dose that causes cancer, then it's really important to prioritize mammography.
So once a person has a diagnosis of breast cancer, how can you increase their chances of survival?
Actually, Vismita, a breast cancer diagnosis is daunting, and the treatment even more tasking because it may include surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, but completing treatment is important to improve survival. Usually we know that broader care needs, psychosocial support, counseling, mental care, and even nutritional care and physical care can help women to complete their treatment. Many women will see or have some abnormalities in their breast, and early care is better care. They should be empowered to seek care from a healthcare provider when they have any breast cancer concerns.
Talking about your health issues is not always easy for women, but even before you can talk about it, you have to know if there is a problem. So talk to us, give us some tips about breast self-examination.
What I can say is that there is no definite technique. Adopting a routine schedule can help. Identifying a specific day of the month, usually for women who are still having their periods, this is 7 days after your menstrual period. And for those who are postmenopausal, you can just identify a date of the month that you can regularly check your breasts. If you can be able to look at the 4 quadrants of the breast, because the breast can be divided into 4 quadrants, and you can be able to compare the 2 breasts, and where there is something you feel that's not regular on both sides. If you have any concerns, please visit your healthcare provider for further examination. Actually, it's important to note that majority of breast cancers are self-detected.
Thank you, Mary. There you have it. Most breast cancers are self-detected, so take charge of your health. Until next time then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stick with science.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Investors with shares in Canadian-based Equity Line Mortgage Investments Corporation are invited to reach out to their broker to determine the next steps. The Jamaica Stock Exchange has delisted Equity Line Mortgage Investments Corporation. JSE said the decision was taken in accordance with JSE Rule 411, which governs delisting of companies. It said Equity Line Mortgage Investments Corporation had been delisted from the stock exchange as of close of business on Monday, October 7. The delisting was due to the company's failure to comply with market rules on audited financial statements, annual reports, and quarterly financial statements, among other breaches. Jamaicans affected by Hurricane Beryl now have more time to apply for financial assistance through the National Housing Trust. The agency has advised that the application deadline for both the Disaster Relief Grant and the Special Home Improvement Loan has been extended to November 30. Approximately $300 million has been set aside for the grant relief, and eligible households can access up to $300,000 through this initiative. As the leadership of Proven Group transitions from co-founder Christopher Williams to co-founder Johan Heaven, we sit down with Heaven to understand new trends in the financial sector. Specifically, given the rapid pace of AI in the financial sector in the US, what one trend is Heaven seeing in Jamaica? And we are joined by Johan Heaven, soon to be CEO of Proven Investments. Welcome.
Thank you,
Proven
Denise.
Group, the group, right?
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. So you guys are well known for being in the manufacturing industry, banking and wealth management, real estate, and you're an international company. So you may have a little familiarity with the pace of AI in the financial sector. Mm-hmm. But for here in Jamaica, what one trend are you predicting for AI in the financial sector?
Well, as you said, AI is the future, and we're seeing many trends right across, many sectors. The main, trend that I would say that in the financial sector is from a customer service standpoint.
So it's all bots?
So all bots, handling your general customer service issues, and then moving to the next level, actually giving advice to our clients and to the, to our investors out there.
But what about jobs? I mean, should persons in the financial sector be worried that they're going to be replaced by AI?
Yeah, no. AI will augment and will support the persons that are there, but they, I don't see them being replaced.
Okay.
Persons still want that personal touch.
Yes.
They still want the advisor. They want somebody they can call on. So I still see, that personal side as an important part of the financial services sector, but it will now be supported by higher intelligence in terms of being able to give advice on your portfolio and where the future and various options that are available within the investment life.
So you think are you comfortable in saying in the next 5 years when I call Proven I'll still get a human?
I'm most definitely.
Yes, okay.
You may get a bot first.
Okay.
But eventually you'll get a human.
I'll still get a human. All right. Thank you very much. That was Johan Heaven, soon to be in February of 2025, CEO of Proven Group. During trading for the period October 14, 2024, the following companies represent the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway with 5,978,649 units represented 37.5% of the market volume in terms of sales. Investment House QWI Investments Limited with 1,840,263 units represented 11.40% of the market volume in terms of sales. Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 1,285,605 units represent 7.97% of the market volume in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies on the stock market, we turn to the Forex market. On October 14, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $34.28 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $34.77 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $159.48 and bought the US dollar for $156.83. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $2.65, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $2.51 from transactions with the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $113.79 and bought for $111.28. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $4.71, selling it for $207.39 and buying it for $202.68. For our credit report tip of the day, we know that debt can feel overwhelming, especially for creatives, entrepreneurs, and the self-employed. The stress of fluctuating income, rising inflation, and the ever-increasing cost of living can make it seem impossible to make progress. To add to the challenge, interest rates and payments are higher than ever, while sales in many industries are down. So here are 2 strategies to help you escape the debt trap and reclaim your financial peace. First, we ask you to consider snowball or avalanche your debt. Choose a debt repayment method. The snowball method says pay off all your small balances first, while the avalanche method says tackle high interest rate debts first. Both methods keep you motivated with quick wins or interest savings. Next, you can negotiate lower interest rates. Contact your creditors to see if they can reduce your interest rate. A lower interest rate means more of your payment goes towards the principal. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, local carrier Caribbean Airlines has expanded its reach, launching its inaugural flight to the British Virgin Islands on Monday. More in this report from TTT News.
Local carrier Caribbean Airlines has added another destination to its schedule. On Monday, the airline launched its inaugural flight into the British Virgin Islands.
With the cut of a ribbon, Caribbean Airlines took another step in their quest to increase connectivity in the region. The airline has added Tortola to its flight schedule.
Our first ever connectivity to the British Virgin Islands means we now have 24 destinations in the Caribbean and North and South America, with 4 flights a week on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. We will bring over 540 seats into and out of Tortola weekly.
And offering Caribbean airline passengers are happy to access.
I'm so excited. I'm so grateful and thankful for Caribbean Airlines that they are opening the doors to British Virgin Islands, the connectivity. I have never been to that part of the Caribbean, so I am so happy, I am so excited, and I'm looking forward to all the other Caribbean islands that they are going to connect it.
I'm very excited about this, a new destination. I mean, when they add more connecting the Caribbean together, it's very prosperous for us, to see the different cultures, to realize how much we share in common, and to get to try out new different things, see like baths and all the different beaches, the different foods, and just how different and the same that all the people are across the Caribbean.
CAL's Chief Executive Officer, Garvin Madeira, noted this new connection also links the British Virgin Islands to Puerto Rico, just 60 miles away, further enhancing CAL's network in the Northern Caribbean.
This is all part of our vision to connect the Caribbean seamlessly and sustainably. We are not just connecting islands, we are building bridges, creating opportunities, and supporting the development of our Caribbean in ways that matter.
Caribbean Airlines' inaugural flight, BW294, landed safely at the Terence B. Lettsome Airport and was greeted by a traditional water salute. Arriving passengers were welcomed to the island with a celebratory event showcasing the island's rich culture, hosted by the British Virgin Islands Tourist Board and Film Commission.
In St. Lucia, Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre remains cautiously optimistic following another quarter of historically low unemployment figures. While acknowledging the positive trend, the finance minister is urging tempered enthusiasm, focusing instead on a series of upcoming projects aimed at boosting job creation across the island. Here's more in this report.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre is aiming for single-digit unemployment figures in the next 2 quarters. The island has registered record unemployment levels in the first half of 2024 for the first time in a decade plus, according to information from the Central Statistical Office, CSO. According to the Office of the Prime Minister, citing the latest information from CSO, quote, from April to June 2024, the unemployment rate averaged 11.25%. This is the lowest Q2 unemployment rate since 2012. The Q2 unemployment rate of 11.25% in 2024 represents a 2% decline compared to the same period in 2023 and is 6.2% lower than the Q2 unemployment rate in 2022. End quote. Pierre believes that the figures can go even lower if there are no unexpected events.
You may recall I've told you that my aim is to get unemployment to single digits. If the trend continues, barring any unforeseen circumstance, I believe that St. Lucia will attain the single digit unemployment rate. If not in the next quarter, the quarter after. I'm very pleased with that growth, and we hope it continues, barring any unforeseen circumstances, which I mentioned to you the last time.
Prime Minister Pierre attributed the decreasing joblessness numbers to new business ventures, developments, and the growth of the tourism sector.
What happens behind the scenes is new businesses. They create an enabling environment, creating the environment for businesses to expand, creating the youth economy where young people are given grants, creating the MSME where people are given 70% loan and 40% grants, creating an enabling environment as far as incentives are concerned, in that the government does not get involved in the incentive nature. So you don't have to go to a minister's office to wait. These processes and procedures have been hastened, have been clarified. The Prime Minister is not the final arbiter when it comes to giving incentives. The new Tourism Development Act has been passed. There are a number of interventions the government has taken to make business more transparent and to make business easier for people, plus the fact that the economy is benefiting from the expansion of the tourism industry.
In sports, we open the scorecard with football. In a tense matchup at the National Stadium, Jamaica's Reggae Boys secured a spot in the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinals after a goalless draw with Honduras. The result sees Jamaica finish atop Group B with 8 points, while Honduras follows closely with 7, both advancing to the knockout stage alongside top-ranked teams like the US and Mexico. The match featured a sluggish first half, with Honduras taking 8 shots compared to Jamaica's single effort from Ethan Pinnock, who missed a golden opportunity. Despite dominating possession, the Reggae Boys struggled to create clear chances, while Honduras threatened with counterattacks. After a lackluster start, Jamaica showed more spirit in the second half, with substitutes Ronaldo Cephas and Kaheem Dixon injecting pace into the attack. Dixon came close to breaking the deadlock, but saw his efforts go wide, and a late penalty appeal was waved off. Goalkeeper Andre Blake delivered a solid performance, ensuring the clean sheet with crucial saves, particularly against Kervin Arriaga's late strike. With the group stage concluded, Jamaica looks ahead to the quarterfinals, aiming to build on their recent 2-0 victory over Nicaragua. That's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.